Welcome back to my story. So, last time we talked, we left off with why fathers are important and how my dad had a big impact on my life. So, let me give you guys some background. My my mom and my dad got divorced when I was like 2 years old, and then I didn't see my mom a lot. But on the weekends, I would go over to my grandparents, right? That's how my grandparents on my mom's side. And we I would spend time with my grandparents, right? But I didn't get a lot spend a lot of time with my mom. I think I had like a we had like a custody agreement. Um and I would be over once every other weekend or something like that. I was a very impressionable kid. I was easily influenced. I feel like, you know, you could tell me something, I'll believe it cause it's kind of gullible. Chat, who also relates to that, where you can be told something and you're a little bit gullible. I used to spend a lot of time with my cousins and my grandparents because they would come over as well. I think they were coming over to get babysitted, and then at one point they moved in to live with my grandpa after my grandma passed. And so when I did go over there, my cousins would be there, so I spent time with my cousins. I don't talk to any of my cousins from my mom's side anymore. I also had other cousins too, which I didn't talk to a lot either. I wasn't the best kid. I don't think I was the brightest. Yeah, gullible in a Roblox game. That was me back in my day when I was younger. Uh, yeah, we didn't have Roblox, but this is one thing I will take from spending time with my cousins and my grandpa is they would play GameCube games or Nintendo games. They would play any type of game, and I would remember they would never let me play, but they would let me watch. I think one of the reasons they wouldn't let me play is because I was young, and two, because I sucked really bad, and I could only ever play when they weren't there. But chat, they're a big reason why I stream today. I got so much enjoyment from watching my older cousins play video games that it made me get into watching streamers. That's why I love Queso. I think Queso is literally the best streamer in the world because that's literally what it was like for me when I was a kid. I would sit there and watch my cousins play these video games, and it was so fun. They would speed run back in 2005 Legends of Zelda before I even think speedrunning was a thing. They used to get those I don't think you guys know. No, shut up. They had they had those booklets at GameStop that you can go buy that would tell you how to play the game. I don't even know what they're called. They're like gaming manuals, but they would tell you where everything is. They would literally tell you how to play the game. Um, Chat lock in. So they had these game booklets where they would use it to like do the games, like play the games. I don't even know. They're like little game booklets. They're like a big book that had exactly how to play the game. I remember my stepdad also had the same booklet, but he used it for San Andreas, for cheat codes and stuff. Where is Goon? He's gooning. So basically, I used to watch my cousins play all these video games. It was like Legend of Zelda, Wind Waker. That's probably the reason why Legend of Zelda, Wind Waker is my favorite game. I used to watch them play Haunted House and a couple other games. I would even bring games over for them to play because we had the gaming system in my house and I never played at my house. Maybe it's because I got the game system because of them. I'm not 100% sure why, but dude, it was so cool and it got me into the love of watching games. So from that foundation, I actually got a tattoo for my grandpa. Uh, I love my grandpa. I would always go over and spend a lot of time with him. I don't have a lot of memories with him because he was old, and a lot of the stuff was when he was sick. Um, One of my best memories of my grandpa, actually, I'll give you guys two. He was he went to the fridge and grabbed a can of pineapples out of a piece of plastic over top of it. He looks inside, he sees the mold on one of the moldy pineapple rings, picks up the top pineapple ring, throws it away, and eats the rest of the can. And I watched him do it. Chat, he was like 70. and he was eating moldy pineapple like it was nothing. Crazy. Moldy pineapple like it was nothing. Chat. One thing about my grandpa was after my grandma died, he had several heart surgeries. He had a couple bypasses, triple bypasses, or whatever they're called. And he literally, the doctor kept on telling him, hey, you have 6 months to live. Hey, you have 3 months to live. Hey, you don't have a lot of time to live. And he would always just like go past it. I think they classified him as having half of a dead heart, or where like two parts or two valves in your heart just weren't working. Where my grandpa literally lived several years without like half a heart is what we would say in our family. I never talked to his doctors. And I talked to my mom about it to try to get more clarification. Like, did he actually live with half a dead heart? She swears by it, but every time I look it up, like it says it's impossible. Like you can't live with half a heart. But from what I understand and what I remember is they kept telling him he was gonna die. But that's what I'm saying. I don't understand. I can't even ask him anymore. I asked my mom about it, and she tells me, yeah, he lived with half a heart. I even got a tattoo with half a heart filled in. Um, but yeah, I used to like. I love my grandpa, and that's all I remember was him. He was a very strong man. I remember I got this tattoo, even if it's not true. He didn't live with half a heart. I'm always gonna remember that story, or at least from my memory, that my grandpa was a strong man that didn't let go, and he always, moved forward. It's kind of cool, actually. I need to get more information. I feel like my mom is a good source, but I just remember searching it up. Is it possible to live with half a heart? And they say no, it's not. What's up, Mike? My grandpa's name was D. So my grandpa, he grew up with 19 siblings. His literal name was D. His literal name is the letter D. His middle name is E. My grandpa's name was D.E. That was literally his name. He had 19 siblings. Fun fact, I'm probably going to give my son the middle name D to be named after his grandpa. I think it'd be cool. Um, yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe it was like a couple valves died in his heart. I'm not 100% sure, but he definitely was like dying from heart. Like he was definitely like they kept on telling him he was gonna die, and he ended up living years and years later, uh, with like half a heart or a quarter of a heart or like one part of his heart not pumping, and he just lived. I see a T. I have no clue. All I know was part of his heart wasn't working, and they said half of it. Maybe he only had what was working. I know there's like six valves in the heart. I'm not very educated on this, and I could be totally wrong. But I know from what my memory is that he lived with half a heart, and that's what I was told. Like I could be misunderstanding. My mom could be misunderstanding on what actually happened, but he didn't die from a heart problems. He died because of cancer. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, guys, that's my story. I'm gonna leave it off here because my chat's getting restless. But yeah, my grandpa died from cancer. I I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.